Life is a game. Every day we're faced with countless choices and daily dilemmas. So if you really want to understand life, first you have to understand game theory. In game theory, a game means something different than in regular life. In game theory, a game is any situation in which there are two or more self-interested parties or players that are making decisions which affect one another. This can include games like chess, Monopoly, or rock, paper, scissors, but it can also include games like the stock market trade or international negotiations or any daily decision that involves more than one person. For example, a game can exist between a buyer and seller because each player has different actions which can lead to different outcomes and different payoffs. The most famous game in game theory is the prisoner's dilemma. In this game, two partners in crime are captured and separated and interrogated simultaneously in two different rooms. They have two options: to keep quiet or to confess their crime. The best outcome for both prisoners is for both of them to keep quiet and spend the least time in jail. However, if the prisoners are going to decide what to do based off getting the highest payoff possible, then they will both confess and spend 3 years in jail. No matter what the other player does, it is always better for a prisoner to confess than to keep quiet. Let's take the perspective of prisoner 2. If prisoner 1 decides to keep quiet, then prisoner 2 can either spend 1 year in jail by keeping quiet or get out of jail free by confessing. Here, confessing is the better option. If prisoner 1 decides to confess, then prisoner 2 can either spend 4 years in jail after keeping quiet or spend 3 years in jail after confessing. Here, confessing is the better option too. This makes confessing the dominant strategy because no matter what the other players do, confessing is always the better option. So, the players will choose the dominant strategy and confess and spend 3 years in jail. This situation is called Nash Equilibrium. It's the set of actions that allows all players to maximize their payoffs. To reach Nash Equilibrium, players make decisions about which actions to take based on what they believe the other player will do. Nash Equilibrium is a stable situation because neither player can increase their payoff given that the other player is choosing their best option. In the prisoner's dilemma, prisoner 2 will always choose to confess as long as they believe that prisoner 1's best option is to confess, and vice versa. This is the great paradox of the prisoner's dilemma. The outcome that comes from the Nash Equilibrium is the only outcome that is not beneficial overall. This result can also be seen in many real-life situations, such as global warming. The concept of Nash Equilibrium in game theory has revolutionized strategic thinking. Nash Equilibrium has become an integral part of international strategy, economics, and even biological systems. It explains the great disparity between actions for self-interest and social good, and illuminates some of the issues we face when trying to make the world a better place for everyone.